Broadcasting live from the True Crime Today studios to the world. This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
From the Hit Killers Podcast, Murder in the Morning.
FBI getting into the Wisconsin school shooting in Madison the other day. The FBI investigating a possible manifesto now linked to the 15-year-old girl accused of killing 2 people and injuring 6 others before taking her own life in the tragic school shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Natalie Rupnow, a student at the school, allegedly opened fire inside a study hall using a 9mm handgun. According to law enforcement officials, the chaos left 2 individuals dead and multiple others wounded, including 2 students in critical condition. Rupnow reportedly died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound while being transported to the hospital. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes confirmed that authorities are aware of an online document believed to have been written by Rupnow. 6-page file titled War Against Humanity was posted on X, formerly Twitter, by an unverified user claiming to have received it from Rupnow's boyfriend. The document lists the author's name as Samantha Rupnow, which police said was the name Natalie used. We haven't been able to verify that it's authentic, Barnes said in an interview with CNN, adding that the FBI is now looking into the document. We have not yet located the person who posted it, but we've shared all available information with federal authorities. The motive behind the shooting remains unclear, and investigators are piecing together the events leading up to the tragedy. Police are also exploring how Rupnow access the handgun. We've spoken with her parents who are cooperating fully, Barnes says. We want to determine if there is any negligence involved, and that's something we'll discuss with the district attorney's office. At this time, however, that does not appear to be the case. Authorities revealed that the first emergency call about the shooting came from a second-grade student at the school, highlighting the devastating impact of the attack on the community's youngest members. The investigation is ongoing, and officials are continuing to search for answers. Do we have this document? Is there a link to this?
Not yet. It's not released. They're still looking it over.
Okay.
This story is evolving. They are finding out more and more about this gal and trying to come up with a motive.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot of attention. And I'm in Wisconsin, so it was the talk, everywhere because, school shootings happen pretty much every day, every other day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big shooting of some sort in the United States because that's how we operate here. Nobody's surprised. I mean, it's tragic, it's sad, and I sound really nonchalant about it, but I'm personally over it. Like nothing's changing, so nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. Now, her dad had posted, I don't know if dad's in the picture or not.
I have the manifesto right here.
You do? Okay. Well, the last time I searched for it this morning, I couldn't find it. She was seen at a shooting range. Dad actually posted pictures, that he was proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone to shooting ranges many times. I own many, many weapons. So I don't, anybody who's not in gun culture doesn't understand that. Like, oh my God, really? You'd take pictures of yourself shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I've taken some classes and I've got pictures of myself shooting, and it's kind of it's a sport, but it's also a deadly sport.
Yeah.
This isn't like golf, This
Mm-hmm.
this could kill somebody in the wrong hands. And the problem is the guns end up in the wrong hands. And that's the problem we have in this country. So it'd be nice if we could figure something out, because thoughts and prayers, we've said it before, they don't fucking work.
Well, they end up in the wrong hands because there's no fucking regulation.
Bingo.
Anybody can go get one at a gun show, there's a gazillion ways to get one. And the access that people have to them is a problem, especially children that are unbalanced, that have access to the guns, and they're young and they're dumb and they're going to make horrible choices. I mean, a lot of it comes down to just responsible fucking parenting. I mean, even if your kid knows how to use the gun and all that, be fucking locked up and you're not having access to that thing, period, until you're an adult. And it's then on you. But just this open access, like it's a fucking teddy bear. It's just, I don't get it. The people like holding it up in their fucking like Christmas pictures. Like, is this what you really want? You like a bunch of fucking weapons in your Christmas picture? Like, is that what Christmas is all about to you? Like, I mean, that's just, it's so weird. And I'm not against guns, but it's like the worshiping of them to me is what is fucking weird.
It feels odd. The only pictures I've ever taken with my guns, I was actually shooting it and somebody took a picture of when the bullet left the chamber, and it was really cool because there's some fire shooting out. I mean, it looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
And wow, she hit the target. Yeah, great. That's it. I didn't send it out as a Christmas card.
Yeah.
I mean, big deal. I'm learning how to use a weapon. That's all that is.
Sure.
It is weird to have pictures out there and to have, stickers on your car, and just, it's a whole different way of looking at weapons. It's very odd. I don't know.
I can't think of any inanimate object that I would hold in that manner.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, I can't think of anything that would be like, I'm going to display it this way as this. I don't know. It's weird. It's not, again, not against guns or anything, but it's just, I'm against bad thinking. I'm against weird and unhealthy ways of living. And I think if you're worshiping your weapon to that level, I mean, it's not like you're living in the fucking, a war zone or something where,
right,
that weapon is there for you and it is saving your life every fucking day. You got a case there. If you're living in fucking suburban Indiana, no, it's not, you're not fucking, in a war zone.
Yeah. If you're a military member, your gun is your partner. Absolutely. And you better know how to use it. And you should be proud to have that thing with you.
I have more of an understanding for there. But if you're just like a fucking like a teenager, or, you get a pass if you're military and you get a pass if like you've had some sort of incident where that saved your life or whatever. There, worship your fucking gun, whatever you want. But if it's, you just kind of trying to be kitsch, wearing fucking matching pajamas, holding fucking ARs, that's kind of weird.
It does feel weird. And especially in our culture where we have so many just absolutely preventable shootings that don't need to happen. We do not live in a war zone. We shouldn't have these horrific weapons out there accessible to the general public. It kind of mortifies me. The city I live in, we had a mass shooting. Mm-hmm. We had a police officer that was killed. We had a lawyer, a bank teller, and somebody else. And it was just somebody having a really shit day, and they decided to go off. And because of the access to these weapons of war, mm-hmm, they were able to do some serious damage.
Yeah.
Now this was just a pistol, correct?
Yeah.
My question is, why wasn't it locked up? And why did she have access to it without parental notification? That's
what they're trying to figure out, how she got it. We don't know any information on that. And it was in the article even of saying that it doesn't appear that at this point that the parents were negligent.
Well, we've got the precedent now, though, that parents can be held liable for these things. The Crumbleys are a prime example of that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Here's kind of a summary of what was in the manifesto. Rupnow described a profound sense of emotional neglect and rejection from her family, writing that her parents viewed her as a mistake they never wanted. She portrayed herself, well, this is her saying this. It doesn't mean her parents actually said that. There's very angsty teens out there that will say shit that's not true. So It could be her own, take on life. I mean, fucking look, I have kids in this age range. They will say the craziest, stupidest shit, and then in the next sentence, like, be completely back to normal.
Well, its hormones are raging too.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
You're fighting that.
So, and they jump to huge conclusions very quickly. I don't know what's going on here in this family, but I'm not going to just take the fucking shooter at their word that this was that their parents were saying that, and it's not you just misinterpreting it because you have a severe depressive disorder that's not being treated. She portrayed herself as an outsider both at home and at school, writing, "They look at me but don't see me. I'm invisible until I do something they can't ignore." Rupnow's resentment toward her classmates was equally evident. She accused peers of ridiculing her differences and isolating her further, describing them as part of the disease called humanity. So she's a bone collector, basically, where she's just collecting a wound collector, collecting wounds. And, she's a kid. It'd be helpful if somebody stepped in here and helped get her on a better path and help with her mental health, because it sounds like there's a lot of issues going on right there. But yeah, I mean, this sounds like every school shooter so far, where it's woe me and I'm going to show society, and not looking inward to fix themselves. It's everybody else's fault. Recurring theme throughout the manifesto is Rupnow's disdain for societal norms and values. She criticized societal expectations, consumerism, and what she called false morality, blaming humanity for creating a world of cruelty, hypocrisy, and exploitation. She referred to herself as a soldier against the plague of mankind. Well, good luck with that. That didn't work out so well for you, now did it? Rupnow justified her actions as a final statement against a world that she believed had failed her at 15. She wrote, "If the world doesn't care that I exist, I will care when I don't." The shooting, according to her writings, was an attempt to reclaim control over her life, which she described as dominated by feelings of powerlessness. So I really want to know what's going on at home, and I really want to know, are you that out of touch with your kid that you're unaware they're feeling anything like this? Or are you aware and you're doing your best, and you have a troubled kid?
Well, and that's the thing too. I mentioned hormones. School can be a very difficult, horrible place. If you don't fit in, you don't fit in.
I get it. I never did.
Yeah, I fit in barely. I had my moments, and then I had a what I thought was a best friend who turned a bunch of people against me. I mean, I understand that angst and that feeling of, oh my God, this is never going to get better.
I think everybody has those experiences, honestly. I think everybody has these experiences, some more intense than others, some where, they have a lot more, happy fairy days where everything is wonderful than they do, being picked on. But yeah, growing up sucks. It's difficult. It's hard. It hurts your feelings and all that. That's where either if you can't handle it, then there's something there that needs to be done to help you be able to handle it. Or could be a personality disorder or a mental illness going on that is preventing you from being able to handle that sort of thing. But if you're a healthy individual, it's just kind of part of life. It's grit. And it's getting, it sucks. Yes, the world is this, the world is that, and corporations are this, and people are like this, and they're like that. Yes, they are, and that's where you live. So if you'd like to continue surviving, you better figure out a way to kind of navigate it all.
Well, and that's the thing. Are you, it's one thing to, and wisdom comes with age, and it's so hard to try to talk to a teen or somebody in their early 20s because they can't grasp it.
Tell me about it. That's every day with my 12-year-old.
Yeah, but there comes some wisdom when you can stop looking at things as either I approve or I disapprove, and you just step back and go, okay, I'm just going to have to accept this and move on.
Yeah.
You always feel like there's something you have to do about it. Especially as a kid, as a teenager, early 20s, you feel like if you've been wronged, you need to do something about it. And as you get older, you kind of go, fuck it. I don't have the energy anymore. I don't care.
Yes.
You go ahead and judge me. I don't give a shit. Do your thing. And that comes with wisdom and age and experience. And these kids don't have it. So if they're troubled and can't see past their own nose, I don't know how you get through to them. I mean, it's an age-old problem, but if they suddenly have a gun accessible, well, that ratchets up the situation tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, what tools you put in front of people are the tools they will use. And if a gun happens to be one of them and you're not mentally well and you feel that the only way out is taking action and going to an extreme, which a lot of young people do. That's just kind of, it's how we're wired. it will not work out well. That's where, ultimately it comes back to being a decent parent, being responsible. You can have your guns, just don't let your kids have access to them. Not hard. But, we're talking about a lot of parents here who, find it difficult to even, make a kid scrambled eggs and feed them for breakfast. And they have to rely on somebody else to do that for them because, it's just bullshit. There's so many people who just shouldn't be parents and they can't handle the basic responsibilities of raising a human being. Like, this is more complex than just, I guess, basic, although it is fairly basic. Just locking up a fucking gun. But then they have to identify that could be a danger and think ahead. And that's two thoughts.
Yeah, I think we are at a point in this country where we need to start prosecuting the parents. If you've got guns and you've got a volatile child, you have a responsibility to your community and to your child to keep that gun under lock and key at all times.
Yeah.
It can kill people, and it often does.
Yeah.
We need to figure this out.
You probably think, oh, it could never happen to me. Well, that's what everybody says. Yeah. It's another.
These kids, the teachers, the parents, they woke up that morning and didn't think it would happen to them, and it did.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, true crime addicts, let's cut the crap. You're knee-deep in the gory details of your favorite podcast when suddenly a commercial hits like a bad meal. Seriously? You deserve better. Upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, where you can binge without those annoying ads. Plus, get extended interviews that go deeper into the darkness and early access to episodes so you can be the first to know. It's like trading up from fast food to fine dining, but with more blood. So, go ahead. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and feast on the good stuff.